There are many folks who live on the edge. I don't mean the edge of insanity, although that is sometimes the case. But there are many who reside away from the general community in a great tradition of isolation or of being a recluse in order to enhance and enrich their own life experience. This is the consequence of coming back from the wilderness and having entered the narrow gate. We find ourselves living on the edge of communities, the edge of the collective. And so we have clarity. We have clarity of conscience and the ability to discern and to see. So what happens is that these are the people who are cowled in the medieval cowl. Their robe touches the ground. Their ears are shielded, and their staff keeps them in touch with the earth. These are the people who have changed the course of history. They are the ones who draw young men to try their souls in the wilderness and young women to cloister themselves. There are many kinds of people like that, and they are our most precious resource. For they do not allow themselves to be silenced by the cacophony. They are not part of the din. They do not respond to chaos. They are steady, and they are a lamp. And they keep us in our sensibilities. They keep us in the hierarchical harmony of the spheres. And that hierarchical harmony is precious to our experience here in time and space. So this is the end result of the wilderness experience, is to learn how to be apart and to be apart with graciousness. It's not a reaction. It's not, I'm getting out of here, I'm moving to Alaska. I'm going to live on a mountain, or I'm going to live, hunting bear for the rest of my life. These are folks who have said that they will stay, and yet they are apart. And they are the ones who draw youth to themselves for the courageous journey, for the heroic journey. Not to be slaves to personality, but to be in obedience to the divine order, the spheres. These are magical moments, magical people. And this is where they rise, because they are not going to say yes to the craziness, the prejudice, and the insanity of desires of race, nation. They are not going to go there. They are going to stand fast and not let themselves be moved. And the not moving is really a tremendous act of action. As I've said before, not being moved gives cause for the heavens to rejoice, and it allows them the space to enter here into this world of time and space, in their own unique way, as they learn and help us learn to watch as the oppressed, the oppressors are used for good. And if we will get out of the way and set our personalities aside and learn to be a little bit on the edge and learn to stay in the hierarchy of the divine, life gets so much better for us because our personalities get warped and twisted by all the contention and the deceptions, the lies. It's impossible to figure out. I mean, you simply cannot figure it out because there are so many people out there who don't want you to figure it out. They're not interested in you coming up with a solution. They don't want to negotiate. They're not mediators. They are those who seek their own power. And it is their will to power which negates everything that you might want to do. So here it is, the chance to stand aside, to live a little bit on the edge. Maybe it is the edge of sanity. I'm not totally sure, but I live on the edge because I don't participate in the collective society. I mean, I have to be in it, but in a way I'm cloaked. My cowl is around me. And it feels pretty good. I have to say I like it. Because that disengagement, that knowing that I live on the edge, is quite a precious thing. And it means that I get to occasionally glimpse things as they really are. And that's a moment I treasure. Because I can see that people are being swayed and they're in delusion. The elemental forces of the human spirit as it becomes an animal spirit are easy to see. This is the time of animal spirits. This is a time when humans become beasts because they've allowed the beast to devour them, the beast of their own personality. And so they remain mortal. To learn to be an angel is to devour the beast, to, in a strange alchemical way, to shift so that the beast is devoured by us and transformed. Otherwise, we allow the beast to devour us, and we are transformed into the beast, and our mortality is insured. So, what do you want to consume? Are you willing to stand in the light and learn to consume the animal spirits, to internalize them and transform them in ways that are true to your calling? How will you do that? I mean, I can certainly see it in my life to stand aside, to set down the necessities of my personality. It's seeking to dominate me continuously. And I have to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And I sense that the angels, the heavens rejoice because it gives an opportunity for them to do the work that they need to do right here, to bring us messages and consolations. So in this trying time, I'm suggesting to you to go to the edge. You know, it's an ancient tradition. You can see many traditions where the, quote, crazies live on the edge of town in little huts, and they do spiritual work. They are not mainstream in the public square touting themselves. You've got to go find them. And if you find one that's genuine, follow them. Learn what they have to teach us. Many of them are great teachers. And there's a long tradition of them that have come down through history as they shine the light of their consciousness on the events of their day. And they are the predecessors. They are the one who preceded Yeshua. And now we stand in that tradition to step aside and to allow the events of the day to take care of themselves. It's not my job. What is my job? To not be involved, to say no, to not be moved, to stay in my posture or pose if you're a yogi, and stay in that pose and experience the fire of the pose. And think of this, that the very first asana, the very first yogi stood upright and refused to experience the oscillations of mind. And he faced the sun, and he stood there in that pose, and he held that pose until the oscillations of mind diminished and there was a stillness, a silence. And that is the place where we abide. We need to reside. This is our home. This is the zone of silence that we all seek. And so I encourage you to look for ways to experience that, to find a cowl to drape yourself with, to clothe yourself with, so that you can go outside in the world and not be assaulted by the din in such a way that it changes who you are. So the robe that you need to wear is out there. It's for you. So I say, put it on and enter into the zone of silence. Amen.